you guys
Yes.
have some water, mingle, then commingle. And are you ready for these women that are going to roar? Good evening. My name is Dr. Gloria Caballero Roca. I am part of the board of directors of Holyoke Media, and I thank you all for coming to see us here, to listen to our words, and see how women from different spaces can find common ground and find that word that we call the collective, that agora that they have created into words and phrases, just weaving and stitching love and respect and candid, and also solidarity. It's a collective that really is trying to strive to bring people together and create those spaces of commonality, which is not only solidarity, but it's a spiritual one, where each and every one of us is going to find that moment of healing, of understanding, of creativity, and also peace. That internal peace that we all need and that we need to radiate. Welcome to this space. Thank you to the Writing Sister for this amazing program that you guys have put together, and enjoy the evening. Thank you. So I would like to introduce you to Darlene Elias and Hugh, and both are going to read Litany for Survival by Audre Lorde.
A litany for survival. For those of us who live at the shoreline, standing upon the constant edges of decision, crucial and alone. For those of us who cannot indulge the passing dreams of choice, who love in doorways coming and going in the hours between dawn, looking inward and outward at once, before and after, seeking a now that can breed futures like bread in our children's mouths, so their dreams will not reflect the depth of ours.
For those of us who were imprinted with fear, like a faint line in the center of our foreheads, learning to be afraid with our mother's milk, for by this weapon, this illusion of some safety to be found, the heavy-footed hope to silence us. For all of us, this instance and this triumph, we were never meant to survive.
And when the sun rises, we are afraid it might not remain.
When the sun sets, we are afraid it might not rise in the morning.
And when our stomachs are full, we are afraid of indigestion.
When our stomachs are empty, we are afraid we may never eat again.
When we are loved, we are afraid love will vanish.
When we are alone, we are afraid love will never return.
And when we speak, we are afraid our words will not be heard nor welcomed.
But when we are silent, we are still afraid.
So it is better to speak, remembering we were never meant to survive.
Yes. And now I would like to welcome Christine Gay Dutton, and she's going to read Invitation to Travel.
Invitation to progress. Invitation for all women to progress. As a throng and each in our own wave, a long engagement, moment to moment, our loud voices generating energy to allow a newfound wave to wash over you. Voices of change will cast aside ethereal, holding tight in a fight for strength, clarity, carving out humor and safety as necessity. In our strength, we dream up the impossible of listening loudly enough to understand. Understanding allows for naming of truths. Each truth ignites the kindling in the crisis. Let it burn. I capture the ember on each sheet of paper to fuel waves of wisdom, waiting for a great listening to a light. Work against being likened as glaciers. Pick up that pace with ears wide open to spoiled messaging, bearing nonsense. Listening for nonsense takes practice or willingness to knock off those blinders. The change is chipping away particles from the rock we stand on with a mix of slow walking to sleep and the frenzy at each turn can leave you groggy. Weakness at knees and at the heart. Even with shrapnel settling into our bodies, we must hope the grenades remain below and bolster our youth to launch the loving, the listening, to open up, look ahead to progress. It's time. It's time. Bring fearlessness to the fore, engaging the multitudes, listening to the sounds of the sensible, for the bolstering of might and light, with memory of will and willingness.
Now we're going to hear a poem titled American Blues by Darlene Elise.
To see this crowd here today and it's warming my heart. This is, I call American Blues. I was born in America. Nací en América. Pero mi cuento no empieza aquí. But my story doesn't start here. It started with my abuelos, full of hope, hearts heavy with leaving, crossing water for a promise they were told was called the American dream. A dream so bright it blinds you, makes you forget what you left behind, makes you believe pain is just part of the price. I remember being called a spick more than once here in America. Each time it cut through me. Not just skin deep, but soul deep. And I stood there wondering, what am I supposed to do? Because quitting was not an option. My abuelos did not cross oceans for me to give in. My family didn't sacrifice for me to disappear. So I stayed. I endured. I swallowed the indignity. But tell me, how many times can you swallow something amargo before it drowns you? I've been told, go back to your country, as if I did not belong. But what they don't understand is, I do have a country. One that was taken from me, colonized into a question mark. It's called Puerto Rico, the Borinquen. And I'm not alone. There are millions of us, immigrants, descendants, survivors caught between borders we didn't make. So what do I choose? The country you were born in, or the one that was taken from you. Because for many of us, going back is not an option. Home is complicated. Home is a struggle. Home is a place you love that you can't always go back to. And sometimes, being here, even with the insults, the side eyes, the closed doors, feels safer than having nothing at all. This is the part that they don't put in brochures or commercials. That here, you learn to swallow the bad with the good. Work hard for money you barely keep. Watch it build empires you were never meant to enter. The rich getting richer. Brown people being broken. And still, they call it a dream. But let me tell you something. The American dream was never meant to be sleeping on sidewalks or begging for dignity. It is supposed to mean living your best life freely and happily. Not just for me, not just for the chosen, not just for the comfortable, not just the ones who already have a head start. There's nothing wrong with wanting more than what you were given, more than what tried to break you, more than what history said you deserved. Because if you see past it all, past the borders, past the bias, past the lies, wanting a better life isn't American. It's human. It's the dream of all. And yet, so many of us are still here, swallowing, biting our tongues, holding our breath, waiting for the day our black and brown bodies are seen as worthy without any explanation, without apology, without condition. So until that day, I will speak my truth. I will pour every word out of my chest until I am free of these American blues. And if you hear me, si me escuchas, if you feel this, si lo sientes, dime, tell me that you will speak too. Thank you.
The honor also to introduce to you Marisa Quintero. Marisa is going to read an awesome poem as well. Me, a powerful phenomenon. Marisa.
Buenas noches, good evening. It feels so incredible to have so many wonderful people in this space. And I just wanted to say thank you so much for taking a moment out of your day to be here and support us, the Writing Sisters. Me, a powerful phenomenon. I am the calm amidst the storm. And I'm also the chaos in your boring days. I can be quick like the lightning that breaks through the dark night, and also slow like the snail that makes their way through the thin gold sand in las playas de Salgar. I can be fierce like the wind that moves the palmeras con cocos llenos de agua dulce, and also gentle like the petals of a rose or a dahlia or even a hydrangea. I am the thunder that will shake your bones to the core when you discover the magic in my words, the exotic move of my caderas, the sweetness of my cafecito con leche, and the strong look in my eyes that will hypnotize your soul. I am the iconic mix of Indian blood and Colombian flesh. I can stomp like an elephant, run like a cheetah in my dreams, drink from your sweet cup like a hummingbird, and make you feel the tenderness of a bunny. I am extraordinarily spectacular. Yes, I am.
Yes.
I'll have you ride the wildest waves of life and then carry you to the shore. I'll show you my mystical way of burning sage and lighting candles while you slowly sip on a cup of hibiscus tea. I'll sing you a romantic song so you can witness how sensual, adventurous, beautiful, and sensitive my voice can sound. I'll give you both sunsets and sunrises that will leave you breathless, even if you only catch a glimpse of my shadow. You'll also see my painful tears roll down my cheeks and my heavy breathing when my fears creep in. You'll sense my anxiety and feel me shaking panic, but you'll never see me stop. You'll see me rise up high, higher than before. Just like the phoenix rises from the ashes, there's no fire that will burn me down. There's enough streams in the neck of my woods in the shape of friends that will always keep me clean and safe. As I begin to feel how I am aging and the silver begins to pop in the strands of my hair, my heart is now shining like a diamond in the sky.
Hello.
My soul swirls in the different shades of purple, and my feet run to all the shades of green. Green for hope, green for health, and green for the emeralds that will hang in the middle of my chest. I no longer seek for approval. I'm happy with the basics. I am a dreamer, and I will not stop loving even when my heart has been shattered into mil pedazos. I'll show you how to dance salsa, and I will sing out loud a ranchera. In my neck, you'll find the scent that will linger in your memories. I will make you a mojarra frita with some patacones, some arroz con coco and ensalada de aguacate. Add some agua de panela, and you will come back for more. I am a tropical storm, the one that will show you the beauty after the rain has stopped, the one that will prove that there is always beauty amidst destruction and a chance to grow, rebuild, and be better. I am loud with my smiles and my poems, but I am grounded to my piece of earth. I'm brilliant with some sass sprinkled in my blood. I'm almost perfect. I am a complete woman, a mother, a runner, a poet. All of these in a nature's force. I am a powerful phenomenon.
Yes, you are.
Thank you, everyone. And now we have Dr. Gloria Caballero and Nadia Millerton that are going to share with you a brief talk about Cuba. Please welcome them both.
Good evening again. So yes, I'm Cuban, soy cubana, and first of all, I would like to share with you a poem by José Martí. It's called Cultivo una rosa blanca, I grow white roses. I'll try to do also the translation, okay? So, Spanish first. Cultivo una rosa blanca en julio como en enero, para el amigo sincero, para mis amigas, que me dan su mano franca, y para el cruel que me arranca el corazón conquerido. Ni cardos ni orugas, yo cultivo una rosa blanca. I grow white roses, both in July and in January, for the frank and sincere friend that lends me, an earnest hand. However, for those who just rip my heart apart, I will plant these also, grow thorns. I still yet grow white roses. José Martí. I'd like to introduce my friend Nadia Millerton. Millerton, Nadia Millerton. And we're both trying to spread the word, educate people about what's going on in Cuba. I was born and raised in Cuba, and tomorrow I'm going to be 60 years old. But my life in Cuba was that of struggle and victories. A country that has been blockaded for over 60 years, I would invite all of you to experience that. How are you going to live, survive, react, love each other, and yet have free universal health care? Go to school through college for free. You invite people in because after Chernobyl, Cuba was one of the countries that welcomed those radiated by the nuclear residues. Yet Cuba is being exporting doctors and teachers and love and artists and sports people, and yet we keep being blockaded, embargoed, and we survived. Yes, it's a failed experiment because the minute after the missile crisis, it was embargoed and blockaded, then the experiment failed. And we're doing the best we can not to forget that this is a country that comes from slavery. And we tend to forget those hundreds of years. And we tend to just speak about the regime, the Castros. But we forget about the human stock that lives in Cuba. Hombres, mujeres, niños, men, women, children, with dreams, with aspiraciones, who's just trying to build a future as humans with dignity. And that's what we are going to talk about. And I thank all of you for being here. And I thank also all of those who send love to Cuba, who acknowledge their solidarity and cooperation. Those who take the risk of just traveling there and putting their bodies on the line to support a country of 11 million that ostensibly is a threat to these almost 400 million people. This is a continent, we're a small island. Yes, we're human beings. Yes, we make mistakes. Yes, this all that calls human errors. just like here. Only we're poor, and here we're rich, and here we have homelessness. We're still struggling to get universal health care, dignity for all, etc., etc. My country's there. It's open, it's welcoming. It's not only salsa and rum and mulatas, no, it's more. It's dignity, it's innovation, it's culture, it's love. It's a people that wants and need to understand what's happened beyond their borders. And what's happened beyond their borders is what Nadia is going to tell us about. Who's there? Who's bringing down little by little those blockades and embargoes? Who's bringing support? And Nadia's children are there. Welcome, Nadia.
Thank you so much. Start out with a book that I tried to give everyone. If you did not receive a book, please let me know at the end. I have plenty more. If you would like to give any of those books to another person, please let me know. So Ralph Nader, my uncle, spent hours and hours and hours with Castro in Cuba. And he met his match. I didn't think there was another person that could just talk substance for 8 hours at a time without stopping. Well, definitely Castro was even, more prolific in that regard, and many others. So my children are part of a citizen group that is a worldwide group. They are maritime professionals, and they have traveled to Cuba by boat carrying solar panels, medical supplies, food, and they cannot make a dent in the real situation there. But this evening I talked to one of my children. The other one we are not in touch with. If you have heard that all the boats of the activists have reached Cuba, that is not correct. We don't know exactly where my sailor, Captain Adnan, is at the moment, but I trust that he has emergency methods for contacting if he needs help. And so we are thinking that maybe the force of the currents and the wind, since it's good weather, have delayed them and maybe forced them to go maybe even up to 400, 600 nautical miles out of their way in the effort to travel from Mexico to Cuba, which we did not think would be such a long journey. So Tor says from Cuba, just an hour ago, there are blackouts most of the day, every day. Even the biggest hotels can't maintain Wi-Fi. It is the safest place he's ever been in the Caribbean. On every level, it comes out ahead, especially with resources for the community. It is full of doctors and mutual aid, but strangled by the U.S. with over 30 times, who has over 30 times the population, and hundreds of times economically more powerful. The U.S. is bullying a tiny country. The U.S. Embassy goes to the front of the line for gas for their generators, for a massive compound and a massive American flag, an exalted position for a country that they are strangling. The Americans who are strangling Cuba don't remember what the cause of the difficulties in Cuba are. They say, as he talks to them in the different hotels where he's staying, by the way, these activists are forced by the U.S. government to stay in these 5-star hotels that are not owned by Cubans but owned by Spanish, and they're forced to stay there. They are not choosing to spend that kind of money, and they're not going to any concerts. In case you saw the misinformation. So he said these Americans say it's too bad about the Cuban communism. It's such a lovely island with lovely people, but the communists are causing the poverty. So they just erase the actual impact of the U.S. strangle on Cuba. It has more doctors per capita than any country in the world, and exports those doctors to all kinds of people who need help around the world. But right now in Cuba, they don't have enough ibuprofen or acetaminophen, let alone any other medicines. These Americans, to power the U.S. Embassy, are actually taking energy from people that are on life support in the hospital. So in Cuba, it's a normal thing for people to, the power goes out, the people on life support die, and that's part of what is normally happens in Cuba. And there are no street lights, but my son has no fear of danger there. The Cubans are ingenious. They have American cars from the 50s, a lot of cars from the Soviet Union, French cars, Chinese cars, and they just make everything work to the best of their ability. There are no chain stores, no advertisements, no exhausting noisy commercials. It is like a paradise in that way compared to the United States. So these are the impressions that I just got on the phone as I talked to my son and we wondered about my oldest child and where he is. Please pray.
Thank you. Well, we continue with our program, and let me see. A Julia de Burgos by Julia de Burgos, poema. And it's going to be read by Gris Sykes Martinez first, and then Darlene Elias. Welcome. Good evening. Good evening. A Julia de Burgos. Ya las gentes murmuran que yo soy tu enemiga, porque dicen que en verso doy al mundo tú y yo. Mienten, Julia de Burgos. Mienten, Julia de Burgos. La que se alza en mis versos no es tu voz, es mi voz. Porque tú eres ropaje y la esencia soy yo. Y el más profundo abismo se extiende entre las dos. Tú eres fría, fría muñeca de mentira social. Y yo, viril destello de humana verdad. Tú, miel de cortesana hipocresía. Yo no, que en todos mis poemas desnudo el corazón. Tú eres como tu mundo, egoísta. Yo no, que en todo lo que juego a ser, soy lo que soy yo. Tú, señora, señorona, yo no. Yo soy la vida, la fuerza, la mujer. Tú eres de tu marido, de tu amo. Yo no. Yo de nadie. O de todos. Porque a todos, en mi limpio sentir y en mi pensar, me doy. Tú te rizas el pelo y te pintas. A mí me riza el viento, a mí me pinta el sol. Tú, dama casera, resignada, sumisa, atada a los prejuicios de los hombres, yo no. Yo soy Rocinante, corriendo desbocado, olfateando horizontes de justicia de Dios. Tú, en ti misma no mandas. A ti todos te mandan. Tu esposo, tus padres, tus parientes, el cura, la modista, el teatro, el casino, el auto, las alhajas, el banquete, el champán, el cielo y el infierno y el qué dirán. A mí, no. En mí manda mi corazón, mi pensamiento. Quien manda en mí soy yo. Tú, flor de aristocracia, y yo, la flor del pueblo. Tú lo tienes todo y a todos se lo debes. Yo, mi nada, a nadie se la debo. Tú, clavada al estático dividendo ancestral. Y yo soy un 1 en la cifra del divisor social. Somos el duelo a la muerte que se acerca fatal. Cuando las multitudes corran alborotadas dejando atrás cenizas de injusticias quemadas, y cuando con la tea de los 7 virtudes tras los 7 pecados corran las multitudes contra ti, contra lo injusto, lo inhumano, yo iré en medio de ellas con la tea en la mano.
So Julia de Burgos is my favorite poet. I can't get enough of her. This translation to Julia de Burgos is an English translation by Jamie Bernstein. The talk surround that I wish you ill, because they say through verse, I give the world your eye. They lie, Julia de Burgos. They lie, Julia de Burgos. What rises from my lines is not your voice. It's my voice. For you are but drapery. The essence is I. And between those two, the deepest chasm lies. You are the frosty doll of social deceit. And I, a viral flash of human truth. You are the syrup of genteel hypocrisy, not me. In every poem, I strip my heart bare. You are selfish, like your universe, not me. I gamble it all to be exactly as I am. You are that oh so lofty lady of consequence, not me. I am the life, the power, the woman!
Yes! Roar!
You are the property of your spouse, your boss, not me. I'm no one's or everyone's, for to every single one, through my cleansed senses, through my thoughts, I offer myself. You curl your hair and paint your face, not me. I get the wind to curl me, the sun to paint me. Housebound lady, you are reassigned, compliant, bound to the bigotries of men, not me. For I am a runaway Rocinante, unbridled, sniffling out horizons of God's retribution.
Yes!
Inspiring night. Yeah. So we heard from the Lesbian Survival, then an invitation to progress, the American Blues, Menopausal Phenomena, and Julia de Burgos, reflecting, talking to who she is and who they have made her be. Yes. Now please let us put together our hands together. Oh, Race for Humanity, right by Q.
I did a little wardrobe change. I don't know if I'm, the word is androgynous, and I don't know if that's plain androgynous or hot androgynous. Here we go. Race for Humanity. Finished that mud girl at age 66, smiling at my scraped and bleeding knees, and the memories come flooding back. I remember the skinned knees and getting back up and running, sliding into home plate, slipping on ice at recess and cutting my knee open, the one with the big wart on it, bleeding everywhere, now gone. Nurse looked at me, expecting me to cry. With all the blood streaming down my leg, I grinned and said, "Can I go back outside now?" Diving to be first to a ball and getting up, both knees bloodied, my coach applauding my effort. The praise took the pain away. I was always taught that we will fall, and it's the getting back up and running on that is the measure of your character. So I ran, climbing, falling, rising, sinking, rising again, winning, losing, but not giving up on life's marathon. Now I run to stay ahead, more careful about falling. I like to think I am a steady brace to catch someone who falls, balancing them and gently pushing them forward. When I fall now, it's harder to get up, but I do. Used to be so fast. Now, slow and steady wins the race is not just a phrase, it's my mantra. Used to run from everything. Now I run toward it, moving forward with determination, yet cautious, giving pause to note the danger outside my bubble. Won't let them stop me. The ones who want to label us as worthless, call us names, commit violence on my sisters. I fight on and keep running, not from them, but chasing them away.
Yes.
I'm watching on YouTube over and over, laughing my head off at ice falling on ice. I'm with those people, chasing them down the street. Get out!
Yeah.
Ice out!
Yes.
Thousands, now millions, running towards the danger, running to help, running because you know it's the right thing to do.
Yes.
I give pause to note the humanity, the empathy that exists in most of us. I'm ahead now, and I turn and look back at those who have lost their humanity, lost inside their racism, sexism, and xenophobia. This race we have to win
Yes.
for now and the future.
Yes.
I look at my unskinned knees and sign up for my next mud girl at age 68. Nothing ventured, nothing gained in this race for humanity.
These women, I'm telling you, come on. Come on. I love it. Yes, yes, yes. Well, we will continue unapologetically.
Yes.
And this is what Grace Gerhardt is going to tell us. Very good. Yeah, different.
All right. I think that's at a good height. Y'all can hear me okay?
Sure.
I've never used a microphone before, so bear with me. Maybe that's not true. I've never done poetry up on stage before.
Oh, you are?
And now is when I get sweaty. Oh, jeez. Great start. You want-
That's from the poetry.
All right. So this is unapologetically.
Let's go.
On my good days, only 65% of my sentences start with "I'm sorry," despite having nothing to apologize for. I'm sorry, I don't understand. I'm sorry, could you repeat that again? Oh, I'm sorry, I'll get out of your way. It permeates my work conversations and drips from my lips with friends and loved ones alike. I might as well have "I'm sorry for existing" tattooed on my forehead. As a woman, I have been conditioned to blend in, only to be seen, legs spread and lined with lace, and especially never heard. My mere presence and voice too radical, pushing discomfort onto collared men in power. I am so tired of apologizing for breathing oxygen that would otherwise go unused in a room full of them. I am ready to embrace my blooming petals sprouted from the feisty roots of my youth, breaking through concrete sidewalks sprung from consistency with a healthy dash of spite. Now that I think about it, I've never been very good at blending in.
Say it, Grace, say it.
I was 7 years old when I started playing football. I was the only girl on the team, and I became the first female in my town's history to play football from childhood through high school.
Yes.
Others asked me countless times, why don't you just do cheerleading? As if cheerleading itself isn't a ruthless sport. I was laughed at by opponents when they saw me step off the bus. My curly blonde hair tied back, falling over my shoulder pads. But that was before they lined up opposite me on the field.
There you go. Get ready.
After the game, the only people laughing were the parents and coaches, chuckling beneath their scarves on cool autumn Sunday mornings from watching the aftermath of the other team mercilessly underestimating me. As a stubborn little girl, my head wasn't in the clouds, it was in the stars.
Yes.
Yes.
And so I became an engineer.
Yeah.
At work, I've had to brazenly remind men that I do, in fact, have a degree in rocket science. That I do, in fact, have a degree in rocket science when they try to dumb down explanations so as not to confuse my innocently incapable female brain. We, as women, have to be scrappy and fight like hell just to get in the room, let alone a seat at the table. Once we're seated, the battle doesn't stop. We must unabashedly stick our elbows out, claiming space before it is stripped from us. It is a universal experience of every woman to be made to feel less than, to be laughed at, to be thought a joke, as if our gold medal doesn't weigh heavier around our necks than our brothers.
That's right.
What they don't know is it adds fuel to our collective fire. A scorching live wire electrifying our burning desire to prove our skeptics wrong. Our ferocity must bleed into everything we do as we pursue our passions, not only as women, but as competitors. My instinct to fight is constantly at war with the authoritative drive to fit in. Society tells us women that fitting in is safe. That if we just prioritized modesty, we wouldn't be targeted. But I have been catcalled so many times dressed to the nines in my sapphic suit. A flannel with jeans, a snapback hat, and Timberlands. And I yelled back, "Trust me, you are not my type." The reality is, it doesn't matter what we're wearing, what our education level is,
That's right.
or how much money we make. We are a dangerous liability to the patriarchy, and maybe it's time we act like it. So I'm learning. I'm learning that I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry for taking up space, for asking for clarification, for releasing my lady lion roar, all made possible by the women who came before me. And now that they have cleared the path for me, I may pave the way for the others behind me, unapologetically.
Yes.
It's heating up. We're having fun, we're finding our powers, we're sharing, and people are responding. This is what we are, and we're claiming that space to belong in it, to exist in it, and to be acknowledged. If you don't acknowledge, we will roar. This is who we are, aren't we? Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Dear American people. It's gonna be read by Gree Sykes Martinez. Take it away, Gree. Dear American people, dear white American people of North America. Yes, I said that, just like that. America. With a K that scratches the throat, with a K that chokes you into submission, with a K that remembers. It is time to let go of the established unjust roles of gender, of power, of silence, of the rules you built, the roles you enforce, the lies you normalize. Women taught to be small, to smile when it hurts, to be quiet. Calladita te ves más bonita. To be pleasing, well behaved, to see themselves through the eyes of men, to carry the weight and call it love, to be all that but free. Second-class citizens embodies carry worlds silenced, contained. It is time. You, America, you lift men into monuments, pedestals, strong, untouchable, powerful, as if only their voices matter. These pedestal of man must come down.
Yes.
pedestal men must come down.
They got to go.
They got to go.
When women speak, you listen, not respond. You don't interrupt. You don't correct. Do not defend. When women speak, you don't shrink us down to comfort. You listen. Fully, uncomfortably,
truthfully, not later, not halfway, now. Because accountability is not an option anymore. Men must be held accountable for the system they built. Patriarchy.
Patriarchy!
A system, a structure, a habit living in bones. Misogyny.
Misogyny!
Misogyny that lives inside us, around us. White supremacy.
White supremacy!
Stitched into the fabric, into bodies, into borders like scars, into every seam of this and many nations. History soaked with violence. Indigenous people, indigenous land stolen, indigenous people erased, black and brown bodies confined, caged, displaced, turned into profit margins in the hands of a few white men.
White men!
Say it again.
White men!
Power protecting power. Howlas, reservations, borders drawn like scars across living flesh. And still, the world burns, oceans die, wars rage without justice, without consequences, genocide, ecocide, genocide,
Genocide!
ecocide,
Ecocide!
from Palestine to Ukraine, to Iran, to Lebanon, to Cuba, to Haiti, to the global south. Names spoken like headlines, but lived like nightmares. Death. Who is dying?
Who is dying?
Dispossession.
Dispossession!
Who is displaced?
Who is displaced?
Displacement.
Displacement!
Who is silenced?
Who is silenced?
Grief buried under the other. Resistance buried under peace. Chaos replicated, rehearsed, repeated over and over. And who benefits?
Who benefits?
White men and women.
White men and women.
Who stays silent? Sit with that. Who stays silent? Files sepultados clock, governments shielding the guilty, colluders, accomplices. Silence is policy. Truth hidden, systems intact. And yes, let's be real, some women in power shield the same greed, cradle it, feed it. Proximity to power can sometimes feel as safety. But safety built on harm is not safety. Do you see it? Do you feel it? Look at Earth. our mother, her wounds split open from the past, bleeding into the present. Listen to your mother's voice. Listen to Vanessa Gray when she says, the land is our mother, and when we lose value of our mother, we lose value for the women. When mothers hurt, women and their children hurt. Mother is calling on you. Not for guilt, but for love, for truth, to change, for forgiveness. Forgive yourselves, but do not do it without action, not without rupture, not without rebuilding, not without transformation. The pedestal of man must come down.
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 It has to go.
It has to go.
It has to go. Everybody say it.
It has to go.
White supremacy must end, not reformed. Ice melted. Predators paying. And you, American people, must free yourselves from the chains you did not question. Pretend not to see, but still carry. Because liberation is not just for the oppressed, but for the ones who build the cage too. Imagine a different world without hierarchy. Not domination, but justice. Not control, but sovereignty. Without silence as survival, but voices rising without fear and truth. Are you listening to the women?
Are you listening to the women?
America.
America.
To the women, to the children, do you hear their cries? Do you hear their joy? Do you hear their sorrow? Their brilliance, their truths? Are you listening to the women's roar? Demanding respect.
Demanding respect.
Reparations.
Reparations.
Equity.
Equity.
Self-determination.
Self-determination.
Sovereignty.
Sovereignty.
Autonomy.
Autonomy.
Freedom.
Freedom.
Justice.
Justice.
Truth.
Truth.
Change.
Change.
Now.
Now.
And let's invite all the writing sisters. We're going to share We Were Not Meant to Whisper. We were never meant to whisper. Before we learned to speak, we learned to shrink. And before we learned our names, we learned to silence. Little girls are handed quiet like inheritance.
Sit properly Smile politely. Do not be too loud, too angry, too much. Because the world loves women best when they are easy to ignore.
But silence is a strange language. It grows heavy in the throat. It collects in the bones. It becomes a storm looking for somewhere to break.
And somewhere in the middle of surviving, we remembered something. Our grandmothers were not quiet women. They crossed oceans with nothing but stubborn hope and hands that knew how to build a life from almost nothing.
They carry stories in grocery bags, and braids, and recipes, and prayers whispered over sleeping children. History lives in the mouths of women who refuse to disappear.
But the world still tries to file our voices down to something smaller. Still tries to convince us that power is a thing only certain people are allowed to hold.
But tell me, who held the families together when the world fell apart? Who stitched hope into the seams of ordinary days? Who learned how to survive on less sleep, less money, less mercy?
Women did. Women always did. And they always will.
We are the daughters of every woman who refused to stay broken.
We are the echoes of voices history tried to bury.
We remember. We remember the girl who was told her dreams were too big.
The woman who worked 2 jobs and still came home to cook love into the kitchen.
The mother who carried grief like a secret, but still found the strength to keep moving.
The sister who spoke the truth even when her voice shook.
The survivor who turned pain into poetry.
We remember.
And remembering is a dangerous thing. Because once a woman remembers her power,
She stops apologizing for existing.
She stops folding herself into shapes that make other people comfortable.
She stops whispering.
She begins to roar.
And when one woman roars, they call her difficult. When many women roar, they call it a movement.
Yeah.
Whatever. Let them call us loud. Who cares?
Let them call us radical.
let them call us impossible.
Because every revolution started with someone refusing to stay quiet.
And tonight, we refuse.
We refuse silence.
small spaces we were told to live inside.
We are not the whisper.
We are the thunder.
We are the story finally telling itself. We are the daughters who learned to turn survival into song. We are the women who rose from the quiet and built a choir. And we are not done speaking. Hear us roar!
We wanted to talk a little bit about our process. You noticed that we gave out flowers. And the reason why we give out flowers and we wanted to demonstrate that to you is very symbolic because in our writing sessions, when we get together, we give each other flowers. And we do it to encourage each other, to support one another, to lift each other, no matter where we come from. We embrace one another. And the question that we ask is not, who are you? But what can I do? And what do you need? And it's a really simple model for human existence. Not only individually, but together as a whole. Thank you so much.
We'd like to end the night thanking you all for coming out here. It's a lovely turnout. Thank you for sharing this space. Thank you for listening to these powerful poets and their poems. Thank you for being here, just supporting one another, sharing space. Thank you, Holyoke Media, for hosting us. And please, let's talk. Let's mingle. Let's keep eating.
Two announcements. Tomorrow, there's a standout for Cuba. It would be great to see people here continue with that energy. It's going to be tomorrow at 11 o'clock at the corner of Beach Street in Northampton, where the New People's Bank is at. Bring your signs and just come and show your love and support. In addition to that, Q is many of us are accomplished writers and authors. And Q published a book. And she's willing today to give a book out free to anybody who wants to make a donation. We are a newly formed writing group, and we just really exist. We love being with each other, and that keeps us going. But anything that you would be generous and kind to support would be appreciated. Thank you.
I also want to say, I want to acknowledge and thank the other writing sisters who are here.
That's right. Yes, there are other ones. Can you stand up, please? Yes. We have a few in the back. We're growing, and if you're interested, or you know someone that's interested, please let us know. Thank you. Again, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like,